Okay, so I'm going to talk about a little TV show called Top Gear. Top Gear is now in complete hands, in complete ruins in the hands of the Ginger One. I mean, for example, went on for about a minute talking about a catering team sitting on top of Vauxhall Vectra, and then basically said that was downfall. So in my view, that's not even downfall. That's just weight, and he's just a burden on the show. You know, he's complete weight on the show. I mean, and he's really annoying to watch, and just ultimately everything was just like that. It was just really boring. I really wouldn't recommend it to anyone. Thank you very much, Alistair. Starting in London with highs of 16 Celsius. Up in East Anglia we have some clouds and some showers, and then over in the West Country in Manchester, if you're going to that Man United versus West Ham game, it's going to be a bit cloudy, but we will also see some sunny spells. Not so much rain up in Scotland, in particular with highs 16 Celsius up there, and then lows of 1 degrees up in the Orkney, and then Ireland seeing some weather, we don't really know what, but it's got quite some nice stuff, and then obviously quite heavy rain down in the south. Moving on to tomorrow, much brighter down in the south of Portsmouth if you're going to have nice weather there. Highs in London, and yes, that's all for now.
Welcome to the Teens on Screens news report. Here are the headlines. Britain's 15-year-olds are suffering due to pressure at school, feeling fat and drinking too much, according to a news report. Teenage boys and girls in England, Scotland and Wales are less likely than the average child from 42 other countries to report a good life satisfaction and liking at school.
A McDonald's in South London has temporarily banned anyone under 18 from entering inside the restaurant without adult supervision. The branch of the fast food chain in Sutton imposed a 2-week ban on all unaccompanied children and teenagers after a series of incidents of unruly behaviour. Young customers reportedly poured soft drinks on staff members, smashed windows and vandalised furniture.
A 12-year-old girl accidentally runs a half marathon after signing up for a family-friendly 5k run. Tracy Shaw, a 12-year-old student from Leeds, was worried that she was going to be late when she went to the starting line of her race. She set off with everyone else and started running the Leeds to Bradford City Challenge, which was over 13 miles long. The 5k she was due to embark on was a little over 3 miles, meaning she ran an extra 10 miles without questioning it.
And finally, volunteer police cadets from St Albans and Harpenden celebrated their achievements of the past year at their annual recent award ceremony. The event took place at St John Law School in Harpenden and was attended by Neighbourhood Inspector Adam Such and Police and Crime Commissioner David Lloyd. The evening began with a parade and uniform inspection, followed by a presentation and award ceremony. That's all for now. We'll be back again at 6 o'clock. Now, in the modern world where smartphones have been able to do almost anything, it seems as though alarm clocks are becoming ever more redundant. However, here we have quite an exquisite piece of contemporary electronics. This device has not only the ability to tell you the time, but it also gives you temperature and humidity, and it will wake you up at the desired time with the alarm. And it also, in fact, gives you the ability of an audible notification on the hour, if you wish so. And it's quite a nice little addition to the bedside cabinet with, as you can see, a nice little stand here, and it's also very easy to run because it runs on a AAA battery. It's quite a small package, and it's very easy to take on holiday. So I think it's the perfect nifty little gadget for you.
Hello and welcome to Teens on Screen magazine show. So today we'll be hearing about the latest gadgetry, the latest news and the latest football transfers. But first we'll go to Victoria in our Manchester studio with the weather.
Thanks, Joe. It's a very dreary day in most of England, especially down in the south. It's very cloudy and the most chance of thunderstorms. However, as we go north, we can see the chance of more sunshine and there's less heavy rain, especially to the east of our country. In Northern Ireland, there's a maximum temperature of 15 degrees Celsius with a bit of sun. However, in London, it'll be about 16, so it's not as warm as we'd like it for this year. Back to you, Joe.
Thank you very much, Victoria. And now I'll pass over to Cameron with his gadgets.
Thank you very much. So in this day and age, smartphones have become incredibly advanced and they can accomplish anything, almost anything it seems. But here we have quite an exquisite piece of technology as an alarm clock. It has AAA batteries. Not only does it have functionality to tell the time, but it also gives you the temperature and the humidity, and it will wake you up at any time that you desire, since it has an alarm as well. Now, if you want to find out the date, well, you can. If you want to find out if it's Christmas or not, you can press this button and it will give the date. I personally think this is a very affordable, functional, and I would certainly gadget, and I would certainly recommend it. Back to you, Joe.
Thank you very much, Cameron. And now I'll pass across to Matt with the news.
Thank you very much. This just in, a 13-year-old girl from Leeds has just started running the Bradford to City Leeds Challenge. She was worried she was going to be late for a family-friendly 5k run and just managed to get into the time. She was worried she was going to be late when she went into the Bradford to Leeds City race. She set off with everyone else and started running, which was over 13 miles long. The 5k she was due to run was a little over 3 miles, meaning that she ran an extra 10 miles without questioning it.
Well, that is exciting, Matt. Thank you very much. Now let's pass over to Lewis with the latest football transfers.
And this is just in. Manchester City have signed Ilkay Gundogan from Borussia Dortmund. They signed him for £21 million, which is a big sum of money for him. The 25-year-old is 5'11" and plays in central midfield. He had a 5-year spell at Dortmund, making 105 appearances and scoring 10 goals, which isn't a bad ratio for a midfielder. And that's all from me.
Thank you very much, Lewis. Now we're going to talk about an issue in the news at the moment, about a gorilla in America that was shot after a 3-year-old boy fell into the enclosure. So, Matt, what's your view on that?
Well, I think it's very poor parenting from the child's parents that the gorilla was together with, and I think it was absolutely unacceptable that the gorilla should have been shot and killed because of the poor parenting.
That's a very interesting view. Lewis?
Well, the only gorillas I know are the Manchester United fans, so I don't really have a view on this.
So, Cameron, what's your view?
Well, certainly I think that as a parent you have some responsibility for your children, but I also I agree that the zoo has a responsibility to keep all its guests safe, so therefore I think that the zoo needed to have more signage to let guests know that the animals are going to be dangerous and that you really shouldn't be in the enclosures.
Okay, I'm going to pass over to Victoria in our Manchester studio to her view.
Yes, Joe, it is a very controversial issue that has exploded all over social media. However, I personally think that it was the zoo's fault entirely, as why was the child even fell into the enclosure in the first place? It should have not happened at all. There should have been better signing, there should have been better security, and these people, it's very sad indeed.
Thank you very much, Victoria, for your opinion. We'll see you again next week with Teens on Screen magazine show.